The theme is, Every Discord is a Powerless Illusion. And the readings will now be given by Dede from Georgia.
I will read from the Bible, King James Version. Exodus. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Romans. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. 2 Corinthians. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Do ye look on things after the outward appearance? If any man trust to himself that he is Christ, let him of himself think this again, that as he is Christ's, even so are we Christ's. Mark. And when Jesus was passed over again by ship unto the other side, much people gathered unto him, and he was nigh unto the sea. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet, and besought him greatly, saying, My little daughter lieth at the point of death. I pray thee, come and lay thy hands on her, that she may be healed, and she shall live. While he yet spake, there came from the ruler of the synagogue's house certain which said, Thy daughter is dead. Why troublest thou the master any further? As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he saith unto the ruler of the synagogue, Be not afraid, only believe. And he cometh to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and seeth the tumult, and them that wept and wailed greatly. And when he was come in, he saith unto them, Why make ye this ado, and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn. But when he had put them all out, he taketh the father and the mother of the damsel, and them that were with him, and entereth in where the damsel was lying. And he took the damsel by the hand, and said unto her, I say unto thee, arise. And straightway the damsel arose and walked. And again departing from the coast of Tyre and Sidon, he came unto the Sea of Galilee, through the midst of the coast of Decapolis. And they bring unto him one that was deaf, and had an impediment in his speech. And they beseech him to put his hand upon him. And he took him aside from the multitude, and looking up to heaven, he sighed, and saith unto him, Be opened. And straightway his ears were opened, and the string of his tongue was loosed, and he spake plain. And he charged them that they should tell no man, but the more he charged them, so much the more a great deal they published it, and were beyond measure astonished, saying, He hath done all things well. He maketh both the deaf to hear, and the dumb to speak. James. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. I will now read from Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures, and prose works by Mary Baker Eddy. Suffering is no less a mental condition than is enjoyment. You cause bodily sufferings and increase them by admitting their reality and continuance as directly as you enhance your joys by believing them to be real and continuous. When an accident happens, you think or exclaim, "I am hurt." Your thought is more powerful than your words, more powerful than the accident itself to make the injury real. Now reverse this process. Declare that you are not hurt and understand the reason why, and you will find the ensuing good effects to be in exact proportion to your disbelief in physics and your fidelity to divine metaphysics, confidence in God as all, which the Scriptures declare him to be. Our Master cast out devils, evils, and healed the sick. It should be said of his followers also that they cast fear and all evil out of themselves and others and heal the sick. God will heal the sick through man whenever man is governed by God. Truth casts out error now as surely as it did 19 centuries ago. If sickness is true, or the idea of truth, you cannot destroy sickness, and it would be absurd to try. Then classify sickness and error as our Master did when he spoke of the sick, whom Satan hath bound, and find a sovereign antidote for error in the life-giving power of truth acting on human belief, a power which opens the prison doors to such as are bound and sets the captive free physically and morally. When the illusion of sickness or sin tempts you, cling steadfastly to God and his idea. Allow nothing but his likeness to abide in your thought. Let neither fear nor doubt overshadow your clear sense and calm trust that the recognition of life harmonious as life eternally is can destroy any painful sense of or belief in that which life is not. Let Christian science, instead of corporeal sense, support your understanding of being, and this understanding will supplant error with truth, replace mortality with immortality, and silence discord with harmony. Truth fosters the idea of truth, and not the belief in illusion or error. That which is real is sustained by spirit. More thought is given to material illusions than to spiritual facts. If we can aid in abating suffering and diminishing sin, we shall have accomplished much. But if we can bring to the general thought this great fact that drugs cannot produce health and harmony, since in him, mind, we live and move and have our being, we shall have done more. A knowledge of both good and evil, when good is God and God is all, is impossible. Speaking of the origin of evil, the Master said, "When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." God warned man not to believe the talking serpent, or rather the allegory describing it. The Nazarene prophet declared that his followers should handle serpents, that is, put down all subtle falsities or illusions, and thus destroy any supposed effect arising from the false claims exercising their supposed power on the mind and body of man against his holiness and health. In divine science, it is found that matter is a phase of error, and that neither one really exists, since God is truth and all in all. Christ's Sermon on the Mount, and its direct application to human needs confirms this conclusion. Science understood translates matter into mind, rejects all other theories of causation, restores the spiritual and original meaning of the Scriptures, and explains the teachings and life of our Lord. It is religion's new tongue, with signs following, spoken of by St. Mark. It gives God's infinite meaning to mankind, healing the sick, casting out evil, and raising the spiritually dead. Christianity is Christ-like only as it reiterates the Word, repeats the works, and manifests the Spirit of Christ. No evidence before the material senses can close my eyes to the scientific proof that God, good, is supreme.